G'day Rugby League fans. Welcome along to the ACC's Mad Monday podcast, live from the Export Beer Garden studio, brought to you by our good friends at 4 and 20 Pies. And speaking of good friends, one of my very best friends, ACC and Hodaki. Well, no, ACC Head G Lane.
Yes, knock the Hodaki on the head, mate.
Yeah, fair enough. Trying to do the same thing personally. You're tagging in, mate, because it's a rough week for the Mad Monday crew. We've got Di, who's in getting treatment today, so he's unavailable. Yep. You've got Ben Hurley and Mania Stuart. Both have caught the same flu.
Yes, and I got a bone to pick because this goes back to the Warriors. That's why I'm on the podcast, because I'm just going to, call people out here.
Okay.
First of all, Tohu Harris, no fault of his own, caught some sort of flu. And
last week's game.
Yeah, and he had to go off.
Right.
And he's passed that on to Marcelo Montoya, who's then passed it on to his partner or his wife.
Taylor, who works here.
Who works right behind us. And she was like, she should have been in hospital last week, but she was at work and she was hacking up a lung. And we were sitting there going, she should not be at work. And then suddenly Mania's gone down. Courtney Ennell's gone down. I mean, Hurley's gone. Forget Omicron, forget Delta.
Right.
This is the Harris.
To be honest, though, as a Mad Monday podcast person, I'm kind of gutted that I didn't catch the Tohu variant. I love the Tohu. I bet that variant just keeps on going and going and gets through a lot of work.
It does. I think Mania might have said if this gets out into the world, into third world populations, it's going to kill millions.
Right. Well, shout out to Mania, who's doing the Lord's work, staying home right now, playing PlayStation, probably drinking beers too, and faking it. I've already figured out what the link between Marcelo Montoya's wife, Taylor, and also Mania is. It's the pants man, Joel, who's a producer here. He's always hanging around her, trying to get tips on how's Marshmallow going this week.
Oh, he's the link.
Yeah, he is the link. So he's the one that infected everyone. But there you go. The Mad Monday crew struck down by the Tohu Harris variant.
Well, we're so intertwined with the Warriors, we're sharing their illnesses. That's how close we are to the action.
So good. And the Warriors are super ill at the moment as well, which is great to see. G Lane, though, so we had a predicament Friday night where Matt and Jerry had their first ever live stage show version of their podcast, which I hear went really well.
Yep.
But it was at the exact same time as the Warriors, and I had a ticket, and I was like, sorry, mate, commentating the Warriors. You went to the stage show, though, and then managed to catch the Warriors afterwards?
No, I watched the Warriors. I sat next to Mike Minogue, and I had the phone open, and we watched. And you know what? The best thing was, at the start of this live podcast that Matt and Jerry did, they were geeing the crowd up. The crowd was cheering, and they were kind of on stage. And then we scored. We scored in like the first few minutes. And so I was like, me, Mike Minogue, and the people behind us gave it another, and then everyone else started yelling as well. And then halfway through, because people could submit questions at the start of this live show.
Right.
And I'd say 20 or 30% of the questions were, can we get an update of the Warriors score? So in the middle of it, I went up on stage in Warriors jersey, Warriors hat, because I was supposed to go. But I went to the show instead.
Well, you got to support, fair enough.
And I went up on stage and I said, look, I want some honesty here. 150 people in the Q Theatre. I said, raise your hands, no judgment. Who would rather be at the Warriors than here? And I would say 80% of the room, just because they're assholes, all put their hand up. Yeah. And then you could see Matt and Matt especially just go, you asshole.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. And I gave the score update. And look, I mean, it was an ugly win, but it was great to see the Warriors taking the points as well, because I think I got up on stage just when Shawnee J kicked the penalty.
Oh, right.
And I haven't seen Warriors kick a penalty all year, and they kicked two. So, I think they were up for it. And at the end, that was terrifying.
It was terrifying. And I tell you what, Mania was who was coming down with the flu on Friday night when we were calling it. He was massively battling. But I tell you what, let's rip straight into our analysis of the Warriors v. the Raiders. The Warriors getting the win, 21 points to 20. And also the big red Corey Horsburgh. Warriors to the right. It's Manati who caught it. Oh, he's back from suspension. That's a chance. Chance Nickel-Keezy. He's in before halftime. No, we ain't letting you in.
Stretches out the calves.
Starling.
Left to go. Forward pass.
Drops it onto the toe.
Offside.
Oh!
No way. He was offside by a mile, surely.
Elliot Whitehead, known for having a massive whitehead. I do feel that he was offside as well. Starling out to Fogarty. Whiten. Skip ball. Out to the wing.
Here comes
Boati. Somebody shut it down.
Jack Whitehead for the corner.
No.
Oh, Jack Whitehead ties it for the Canberra Raiders.
Goodness.
Right
shocking angle. What's the deal? Looking at the refs, and it's a miss! We're going to Golden Point. Point.
In position now, the Warriors. Do they go to Shawnee here?
Shaun
Johnson's back there.
Come on, Adam. Get up, baby. Get it back. Shawnee J.
Listen to the crowd.
The crowd love it.
The Warriors have won.
The Warriors have won. The Warriors have won. The Warriors have won. The Warriors are in the top 4. The Warriors have won. The Warriors have won. I don't know what else to say. How good was that?
The Warriors leapfrog the Raiders into the top 4 position with a Shaun Johnson drop goal. Have a look at it here.
You okay there, Keezy?
I think it's really important to maintain composure while commentating.
Yeah.
And there's something I really struggle with. I've noticed. It's either I'm just going, the Warriors won, or I'm in the background going,
There's a mix. You're hyperventilating, and you're also like a record stuff on skip. There's a big scratch. There's a scratch on the record.
Yeah, just repeating myself. But I tell you what, that game was. I'd actually, at about 77 minutes gone, I'd started doing because once the game finishes, people at home won't know this, but when you're commentating, you've got about 30 seconds to wrap it up, say thank you, give it back to Sky. So I start to say goodbye with about 2 minutes to go. Little did I know that with 1 minute to go, they were going to score literally 2 tries within 60 seconds. Because I think, the first try was a little kick through. Elliot Whitehead dived on it. And then, of course, the one we sort of heard there with me screaming over the top of it was Jack Whiten in the corner. I mentally was not prepared for it. And I found myself very fatigued going into Golden Point. And this is the thing I was worried about. I don't know about you watching secretly while that podcast was happening I was a mixture of elated that we had our Golden Point performance was so great. Shawnee kicked it.
Yep.
Everything was amazing. But also freaking out that we let in 2 tries in the last minute of a game.
Like 90 seconds.
Yes, it was very unnecessary was my feeling, but still very exciting.
But look, the bit of difference is they got the W.
Well,
they got the W.
Yeah.
And in past years, they may well have not got that W. But not this year. But that Golden Point, Mike Minogue had managed to sneak back to the green room. The show was over by this time, and he'd got a crowd around him.
Right.
And I was getting beers because I saw the score was 20-10 with 3 to go.
Over. Yeah.
And I was like, Warriors, it's our year. And then a crowd formed, and I was like, why? They know the score. The Warriors have won. But then they all went ape and throwing stuff around the change room. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, we just won a Golden Point. And I was like,
what the hell?
How did it get to Golden Point?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Minogue, by the way, who's probably the biggest Warriors fan I've ever met who's not on this podcast. Producer Adam and I were talking before the potty as well, how after that game was like, oh my goodness, that was exciting but very unnecessary, and I'm a bit worried that the Warriors let the Raiders in, blah, 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 at the end. But what actually happened was we beat a then top 4 team in Golden Point when the pressure was on. We won ugly at the end there.
How good was the droppie, though, from Shawnee J?
Perfectly
middled
slotted.
it.
Yeah, he did.
Middled it. It cleared it by about 20 metres as well.
It did. He had the big red Corey Horsburgh was inches away doing the dive. He'd come out of marker and almost stopped it, to be fair, but because there's so much Golden Point in the NRL nowadays, I have seen so many shit droppies, like Chad Townsend and guys like that, just snapping off ones that curl away to the side. And usually there's about 3 before someone nails it. They go tit for tat. Yeah. Shawnee J, straight down the hey diddle diddle, as Mania says. That was one of the most well-executed Golden Points. We just got the ball, muscled it right up, slotted the droppie.
And calls of giving him the Dally M now?
Well, to be honest, I mean, guys... saying now give it to him.
Yeah, just give it to him now.
Right.
Forget the end of the year. Just give it to him now. Save the hassle. Give it to him now.
It has been such a fairy, this is ESPN 30 for 30 stuff, right? Because when he was coming to the Warriors, I was first person to put my hand up to say, I don't think Shaun's worth top dollar anymore.
Yeah.
And the Warriors, we're in a certain state. He's come in and he's had the most amazing return to form. The Warriors have turned things around. He's had a kid. He's won in Golden Point. Dally M's the last thing he needs to check off his little list.
Yeah, that's true. We've got to buy, eh?
Yes, we've got to buy this week, unfortunately.
That's good. So we can get all that illness out of the way that we've been struck down by.
And Shaun he had tape around his head. He was walking with a limp by the end of that game. So the last 2 games, he's given us injury scares too. So we need him just to go and relax, spend some time with the whānau.
And as Mania Stuart, during another podcast we do, I'm not sure if he laid on the biggest curse I've ever heard him lay on.
Right.
And that's saying that the run home, the 5 teams we've got in the run home, easy beats, he said.
Well, they're massive easy beats, yeah.
Why? See, look, you've done it again.
But the difference is, with this Warriors side, this is the thing I've got to start comprehending, is I now expect so much more of the Warriors now that early in the season, I was excited because the next 5 teams are all bottom 8.
Yeah, they're 14th, 17th, 11th, 15th, and 13th.
They're all garbage, right?
Yeah.
And so mid-season, Chris was like, okay, that's great. We'll definitely be able to get in the top 4. However, we are now in the top 4. And late season, Chris is like, shit, we need to play Melbourne or Penrith or something to find out what they're like going into the finals.
Yeah.
Because now we're in this weird position where, if we go from 5 really bad teams into the playoffs and then come up against a really good team, it's almost bad.
Yeah, what do you reckon they need to get towelled up before the...
Not towelled up. We need to play a good, hard... Like, I'd love to play the Cowboys or a team like that.
Right.
Team that's surging just to, just to test us.
Good, though, because we've got a couple more at home, and they've got one in the Tron, the Tigers.
Tigers in the Tron.
The Tigers. This is a Tigers home game.
Oh, my God.
It's a Tigers home game. They're going to the Tron. They're going to their Tunanga Waiwai, the Tigers.
The Tigers are the Hamilton of the NRL. They definitely are. So
Shut up, man. You can't say that. Unless you grew up in Hamilton, you cannot bag Hamilton, okay?
Where did you grow up?
Hamilton. So I'm allowed to.
Right.
You didn't go.
Is it a shithole, though?
Massive one. It's getting better. Everyone who comes from Hamilton who moves out, it's getting better, man. It's getting better. Like Hood Street, it's got some good restaurants.
Hood Street. Well, I'm actually going to the darts in a few weeks' time in Hamilton. And I had one of the best nights of my life in Hamilton, actually.
Oh, yeah?
David Tour v. Ustinov.
Oh.
At Claudelands.
Oh, at the showgrounds.
Yeah, I was at a table and I was sitting next to Brooke Howard-Smith.
Yeah.
Very throwback names coming out right now. And also Leah Parnapa and a few other media people.
Jeez, and you had the time of your life.
And I had the time of my life because...
Sounds like a nightmare to me.
Well, the reason I had the time of my life was because it was me and a cameraman and also 6 other people all around the table who knew nothing about boxing. And to be fair, I don't really either. But they were like, okay, what round is Tua going to knock him out in? Like, round 1, round 2, blah. We all put bets on. Yeah. We all put $20 in. And I was the only one who said, I think he's going to lose. And he did lose, and I got all their money. And at that stage, I was quite poor and went into Hamilton Town and had the night of my life.
Oh, okay. I see why. I thought it was based around the people you were sitting with, and I was really keen to work out how you had the time of your lives with Leah Parnapa and Brooke Howard-Smith.
No, it was based on taking their money and then leaving them and then having the time of my life. So shout out to Hamilton, by the way.
Not guilty, Your Honour.
Yeah, what are you getting the ref's room number, mate?
We will try to just go through the game a wee bit because we got so swept up at the end there in Golden Point that I think the first half was actually very, very sloppy. We made a lot of errors. There was a lot of just weird drop balls. Marata Niukore, who'd admittedly just been assessed for an HIA, then 30 seconds later dropped the ball cold and the Raiders scored their first try off it.
Yeah.
Blatantly, obviously. You get checked for an HIA, you pass, and then you drop the ball cold like that. I've never seen that. I think he was a wee bit, definitely a wee bit. And we also, early in the first half, though, a lot of errors meant that we were defending a lot. And to be honest, our goal line defence has been bloody brilliant all season, and it was again. So that's what I'm really pleased about.
Wow. Admittedly, it was very hard to get a gauge on the commentary in the game when it was on silent. When you're watching it in a theatre on silent.
But you heard what it's like when it's on loud just before, so you don't want that. Actually,
that would have been funnier to have that on. Just you guys screaming out in the middle of a theatre. Yeah. That would have been even better. But they know how to win ugly. And that's good. And then people always go, you got to win ugly to win the NRL. And, they weren't at their best. It's not like the week before. The week before was insane.
They were clinical the week before, and so there's a lot of things to work on. Bias coming up, which is really good. Things I did like, though. So the Warriors, when they go out to the right, you would have seen plenty of Dallin Waitini-Zelezniak flipping in the corner.
Love that guy.
He is the absolute man. But what happens is the ball, they shape up to the right. The defence goes, okay, here we go. Shawnee J out to Chance, out to Dallin. However, Shaun also always has 2 back rowers running these amazing lines who are always decoys.
Yeah.
Or that's what they think. Every now and then we'll throw it to one of them. Every now and then we'll throw it to Chance, who scored a try by doing just that. And then most of the time, however, we'll put it through the hands to Dallin. This time, our first try, Marata Niukore, back from suspension, it didn't go to Shaun at all. They had built their whole lineup, and then Wade Egan just went short to, there's 7 options for them every time now outright.
And is that the DWZ effect? Because they're paranoid he's going to Superman in the corner.
I think it's the hair, the flip, just his watches that he's making now. I think
Lionel Richie,
whatever
oil he's running through that, whatever that is, he needs to be selling that.
It's definitely not like Pantene or Swatchcough or any of that stuff.
It's full Brill.
Full Brill. Admittedly, I'm a brute man, so no disrespect to Brill cream.
You put brute through your hair?
No, not on my hair.
Oh.
Actually, the way I said that makes it sound like I put it on my downstairs. No, I put it. I use the aftershave stuff.
Oh, okay. Now, Brill cream I was talking about for his hair.
Yeah, and that makes it go real stiff, doesn't it, Brill cream?
No. It makes it all oily.
Oh, really?
And shiny. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, Brill was like a wet look.
Is that what people back in the day used to comb their hair and have Brill cream in it?
Yeah, David Beckham was a big big Brill cream ambassador.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's good to know, actually.
Yeah. I was like thinking, hey, you put Brute in your hair? No wonder your hair's a shocking mess. Like,
How dare you?
Who rubs Brute aftershave? You might as well put Blue Stratas in your hair.
No, and I put Brill cream on his underarm, and
Yeah.
I put Lynx
Okay.
on my face.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm running my own personal setup here. And you're right, though. They are scared of Dallin because when he scores in the corner, he does a flip. He knocks over a cameraman. It goes viral.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, your winger's all over Instagram getting scored on by Dallin.
Yeah.
So they also hate Shawnee Johnson with his amazing deep pass to Chance, who's not even in the position yet, who just runs onto the ball where the ball's going to be. So they're terrified of that. So they aren't watching Wade Egan, who's coming back into form. Little short ball, Marata Niukore, and I just think it was a perfect sort of execution of people were expecting one thing, or they were expecting about 5 things out there,
Yeah.
and they gave them a different thing to worry about now. So
Well, that's an awesome thing to have.
Exactly.
In the playbook. It's just
Brilliant.
don't know where it's going. And then you've got poor Marcelo Montoya on the left side going, hey,
over here,
man.
hey fellas.
Hey guys.
But the
over
thing,
here.
the thing that he does, I don't have long hair or anything, but I'm still all good.
Can't do flips and shit.
Nah, well, I probably could. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he probably
built.
could.
He looks like he could.
He's a different build though, isn't he? He's more of a kind of a beast.
He is. He's as literally every commentator in the NRL says, he's a block of granite. There's plenty of other hard materials out there. Let's move away from granite. What he does.
What would you suggesting? What's harder than granite?
I don't know.
What else could you describe?
Concrete?
Marble? Is
green-
marble harder than concrete? Greenstone.
Greenstone. Yeah, greenstone.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'd suggest.
Lead's quite hard. It's quite heavy though.
Poison.
Yeah.
So it needs to be something that adds value to something and isn't poison.
Aluminium because it's light but it's strong.
He is probably he's strong and he's fast too.
No one's ever described someone as a block of aluminium, have they?
I don't even know if aluminium comes in blocks, but I was coming in blocks watching the Warriors get that golden point win. That's for sure. On Marcelo though, he's so safe. He makes devastating runs up the wing. Like, to be honest, he had an awesome try opportunity early. He got round his man, fended a guy. His pants came half down, passed it inside to Metcalf, who was just a wee bit in front of him. Otherwise, he would have scored the second try of the game. So, they're doing great things all over the park. And Mania had a great point, and this is for rugby league fans. The Sharks, right? Mm-hmm. They played Manly. Sharks, who we beat last week.
Yep.
Okay, they were top 4. We beat them. They've now lost to Manly, and they look kind of atrocious. They had a bit of a comeback, but Mania goes on the group chat, I think the difference between the Sharks and us is Andrew Webster. So the Sharks have got an amazing line, honestly, a better lineup on paper than our team, but their defence is woeful. They're flat track bullies, right?
Yeah.
They can beat up shit teams, and they've got the Dally M Player of the Year from last year, but as soon as you start doing what the Warriors did to them and start running up a score, they suck. And so I think he's dead right, Mania, and I don't say this often because he's a massive plonker.
You're trying to make him feel better because he's at home dying.
He's away.
He's dying of the tohu.
Yeah, he's got the tohu flu, and it's SARS. But he's dead right when he says this. I think the Sharks' weakness is they're amazing on attack but not defence, whereas early in the season, Andrew Webster sorted out our defence. It was all about our goal line defence.
Yeah.
And now it's about our attack. And so I'm like, hell yeah, the Warriors are the real package, man.
See, look, you're a classic Warriors fan, eh? Like,
Yeah,
just
man.
look at you got like the cat that got the cream. You can't get that smile off your face. You're like, yeah.
Oh, there's so
Warriors.
much cream, all right, so much devil's yogurt for everyone.
But how good it's great. It's great to see, and like the crowds are amazing. Like even in those highlights, hearing the crowd when Shawnee J kicked that golden point,
Electric.
It's so good, and the last 2 home games are going to be mental.
They are gonna be mental.
They are going to be absolutely mental, and all the Warriors fans are going, where all these people come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like me, I get off and on the bandwagon,
Actually-
as and when I please.
Well, on that, you cannot expect, the last few years have been particularly bad. So you cannot expect everyone to be, you'll always have your P1, your diehard day one fans, your
jokers,
Keezies.
your jokers,
What?
your
Yeah,
Keezies.
your Keezies.
Yeah.
Actually, admittedly, no, I only came
Matt's
to rugby
right.
league about 6 years ago. But your Die Henwoods, for example. But nowadays, honestly, everyone needs to jump. If you are not on right now, you need to get on now, because if they even make it to another grand final, and I don't even want to think about it, but let's say they win, right?
The whole thing?
Yeah, let's say they win the whole thing. Is that the greatest sporting moment in New Zealand history? What?
Greatest comeback for sure from the year before.
But the Warriors winning a grand final, I think, is on par, if not, I'm going to say on par with the World Test Championship, for example,
Oh, yeah, okay.
because the Warriors have traditionally always underperformed.
Yeah.
Do you not think? Like, what would be a bigger thing than that? The All Blacks winning the World Cup, that's happened heaps now. The Black Ferns are killing it, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you're right. The Black Caps did come out of nowhere, really, to take out that.
It's the same thing.
And upset everyone and upset the apple cart in terms of no one thought that New Zealand was the best Test team in the world.
Yes, I didn't think the Warriors had a shit show of making the top 8 this year at the start of the season. And
they're
now
in the top 4.
3. They're number 3. So that's what I'm saying. I think this could be the next greatest thing in New Zealand sport, other than like the football ferns somehow doing major damage in the World Cup, you know?
I think you're right. On Friday night, I was ready to go to the Warriors until I chose to go to the live show. So I had my Warriors jersey on.
You're full Warrior. I literally, because I came to the pub where you guys were, and I saw a guy in full Warriors kit, and I was like, is Di there or something? Like, who is that? And I was like, it's G Lane.
It's me. But I got so much respect. Like, I walk into the bar, and someone just goes, up the fucking Warriors! Like, I was like, yeah!
Hell yeah.
Like, it's kind of, now, like, if I'd worn that a couple of years ago, I would have gone, loser.
Well,
actually, you know what? I don't think I really left in the bar. The guy would have said, nah, mate, get out of here. You're not wearing that in here.
Or everyone just would feel sorry for you. Like, actually, and this is one of the greatest things that happened to me in Fiji. I was in Fiji about a month ago, and we were at quite a nice little restaurant, romantic, me and my wife and another... My wife. Another quite well-dressed guy and his young partner as well. They're about the same age as us, and they were sitting at a table, and he got up, and as he went to the toilet, and as he walked past, I noticed that his quite smart polo he was wearing was actually a Warriors polo. And then I just quite quiet, because it was quite a nice romantic vibe. I was just like, up the waz. And he was just like, up the waz. And then just went off to the toilet. We just carried on. It's just, there's something about being a Warriors supporter. You know what I mean?
Who is the Kooza? He used to play for the Bulldogs. And he went on a big rant. What's his name?
Phil Gould.
No, he went on about how he hates the term waz.
Oh, right. Who the hell was that?
You know, the guy, the shaven head, big guy.
It's Willie. It was Willie Mason.
Willie Mason.
Big Willie.
Big Willie went on this rant and goes, I don't know what they're on about. Waz. Sounds stupid. They sound like idiots. Waz. Who says waz? And it was like,
That is a shit take.
You could see everyone just going, what the fuck are you talking about, Willie Mason?
But also, why ever go at the Warriors, man? Like we've been sucking for ages. Just let us say up the waz. Leave us alone.
We can say whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly. Willie. God, that fires me up. Although if I ever see you in person, bro, much love, big fan. Don't want no smoke. So we do have a bye this weekend, which is fantastic. So no ACC commentary. We'll be back the following week. However, I think the biggest thing we have to concentrate on, though, G Lane, and you were saying this off air, is just making sure that we don't get complacent over this easy run home, easying. Oh yeah. If we drop even one of these games,
I know this is Warriors fans now so confident they're calling these games easy, and that's what gives me the Willies. It gives me the Willie Masons.
But so I am comparing. Never go full Willie Mason.
No, never go full Willie Mason.
I am now comparing the Warriors to other top 3 teams. So I am in my head they are now on par with not the Panthers, but the Melbourne Storm. If we played the Melbourne Storm just lost to the Knights. So I reckon we could beat them. So So if the Storm were about to go on the run we're about to go on, I would say that's 5 easy games.
Yeah.
That's the level we are playing at now. So it is 5 easy games. However, holy shit, I've just got, and Di's got a horrific case of Warriors fan PTSD where he just thinks the worst instantly.
Yes. Well, I'm kind of there as well.
Yeah,
I'm like, this could be, a 4-run loss streak against the 4 worst teams in the competition.
I just don't think it will, and I expect 5 wins on the trot. I think every Warriors fan should expect that as well. However, God, I can't even believe I'm just saying that. Like, if I went back to the start of the season and heard myself saying that, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing, Keezy? Anything else you'd like to say about the Waz before we move on to a bonus segment?
Yeah, I do, actually, because we've got a trip to give away to the Waz in Hamilton against the Tigers.
Mad Traveller.
The Mad Traveller, thanks to 4 and 20, just text PI to 3236. You get your tickets, you get your accommodation, you get your travel, you get a couple of Warriors jerseys. Signed, where you can't buy Warriors jerseys, and these are signed.
Don't you get some cash money millions
Oh,
as
yes,
well?
you get $500 to blow at the casino in the Tron.
Hell yeah.
Or just stick it all on the wires at the tab. Speaking of the TAB, Manai had a shocker on his
the good punt.
his 8-leg multi that he put on.
He needs to. He keeps going, oh, bro, 8-leg multi, it's the tarantula. That's what I'm calling it. Let's do it. And it keeps failing on, like, the first leg.
Yeah, but can I just say, Manai, he chose all the favourites as well. He took full missionary, and there was 3 upsets within the first, I think, 3 games.
Yes.
And it was just like gone, and that's gone. It's like, he needs to be taken off the account.
Because what's happened is he's got because it's the TAB is giving us $100 bonus bets. It's not his money, so he's playing a bit fast and loose with it.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But also, I think this year, we 21 rounds in, we're going to be into the NRL. Not 1 week has all the favourites won. No. It is a terrible year to do that.
I must admit, though, he's on a heater when it comes to the game day good punt. I think we've been on a heater with DWZ, with
Warriors
Montoya.
to win first and second half, and things like that.
I think he's been on a real heater when at game day, but he just thinks about it too much during the week and the lead up to the weekend, so he may just demote him from maybe the that punt.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I have it on good authority. He's actually on a heater right now at home with the Tohu flu too. Make sure you do text. What is it? Pi?
Text Pi to
3236.
Yep, that's all thanks to
the 4 and 20.
4 and 20. The Mad Traveller.
And you can get 4 and 20s both at the Mount Smart at the old ground there, or in select supermarkets as well. Do you know when you guys are drawing that? A couple of weeks or?
I suppose next week, because then we've got the game and then we've got the Tigers. It'll be next week. Stage.
Get stuck in now, guys. What we might do now is just take a real quick break. When we come back, we are going to do a special bonus segment, and then we will have another podcast on Wednesday specialising on Supercoach and things, and also just because the boys have all been a bit under the weather, and G Lane, I take it you didn't watch 8 games of NRL over the weekend?
Negative.
Yeah. You watched -8. That's incredible. We're going to do a few more key points on the Wednesday, so we will be back soon with a few bonus segments. When by a few, I mean one.
Not guilty, Your Honour.
Yeah, what are you getting the ref's room number, mate?
Welcome back to the Mad Monday podcast in the Export Beer Garden studio. Thank you, 4 and 20 pies. Now, for a bonus segment today, G Lane.
Bonus? Is this bonus content?
It's bonus content.
Oh, yep, I'm into it.
Bonus content that's just sort of part of the actual normal podcast, so we're not really making the most of it at all. But funny text came through on the Mad Monday group chat today from Di, who, as I mentioned earlier, is in getting treatment today, and he said the nurse just tried to chat footy with him and referred to Jared Wadia-Hargreaves as Jared Wadia-Hard Drive.
It's a better name.
And so now I'm sitting here thinking of tech-based league players.
Okay.
So instantly, and Adam, you're in the group chat, you can what's it called, attest to this. The group chat lit up for an hour straight while I was at the gym cracking up because of all the shit puns that just came through. So I'm going to run some by you.
Okay, go.
All right, here we go. Chance Nickel Amstrad.
That's good. That's good.
This one, that was from Ben Hurley.
Yeah. That's quite obscure, though. The Amstrad is very obscure.
It is.
That's old school.
He's going deep for his first one. I like that. Tohu Sheba Harris. Toshiba?
Oh, Toshiba. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. No.
Is that a fail?
Yeah, it's a pass. I just had to get it around my head.
That was my one, so I'm mildly upset about that. All right, Ben Hurley came back in. Corey Hadaweda Nokia. That's Corey Hadaweda Naira.
That's stretching it.
Yeah, massively stretching.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
Then the Pants Man chimed in with something that wasn't a nude for once. Sony Bill Williams.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Then Ben Hurley rebutted with Apple Fanua Blake. Instead of Adam, see that is kind of a reach as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying it. The reach is good.
I quite like the hard crowbar. For example, Adam Fanua-Keezy, where you just force it to become something. This was me. Del Inspiron inspired Watene Zelezniak.
It's quite a mouthful.
Yeah,
it's quite a mouthful, but I can see what you've done there.
Dallin was already a mouthful, if you know what I mean. Mania, who was sitting at home just basting, and Tohu Flu comes through with iPod Elite. Instead of they call Isaiah Papali'i iPap.
Right.
So he's gone for iPod Elite.
Okay, so he's put a nickname on a nickname.
Yeah. So a hat on a hat there, which is always welcome at the ACC. Now, there's a guy called Ofahiki Ogden.
Great name.
I've gone Ofahiki Board Ogden.
This is a stretch.
Yeah, you can say this is where we start going off the old cliff.
Yep.
Okay. Russell Hewlett Packard.
That's good.
Yeah, that was Mania. Nintendo Heinz, question mark. I'm going to strike that one off because better ones came through later. Yep. Braden Hamlin Ueli became Braden Hamlin Uwe Boom. And then Dyson Frizzell.
That's good. Dyson Frizzell's good.
It's not really software or anything, but that's fine.
It's technology, though.
It is technology.
The Dyson is a piece of technology marvel.
That's right.
Marvel of technology.
That's right. There's a guy called Ray Stone, so he became Blu-ray Stone.
Oh, yeah. Old school.
Nico Hines became Ergonomico Hines. After those ergonomic keyboards and stuff. Ben Hurley comes in with Arthur U.S. Beatson.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Pop-up blocker Roach. Like a pop-up blocker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, anything to do with blocker Roach, I'm not keen either. I came in with a rugby union one just in case G Lane was hosting, which was Seta as desktop background to Manivalu. You know, he said, he gets it, loves it. Oh, so good. Del Sailor instead of Wendell Sailor. Manu Vatuvayo, Sony Vaio.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Yep. Kasoni Staggs, Silicon Valley Tyne Holmes.
That's good.
Brian Crypto.
Yeah, that's good.
NF Timanatahu.
That's good.
Megabyte Tro Okasine. Rocco Blackberry, Cody Walkman.
Oh, yeah, nice. Rocco Blackberry. It's good simple stuff.
If you could clear this last one up for me, Josh Addo Dropbox. I don't get that.
A Dropbox. You don't use a Dropbox.
His last name is Josh Addo Carr. So Dice just chucked Dropbox on the end of Josh Addo Carr. And one last one, which is unrelated. This is from Mania, but we have a hard drive at the ACC labeled 2 terabyte na iwi. Which roughly translates to 2 terabyte the people. So that was your bonus content today.
That was good. Look, I've got a real concern how much screen time Di Henwood has, because in amongst him sending what seems like hundreds of tech-based nicknames, at the same time he's bombarding me with deep thread cricket Reddit memes.
Wow, so he's deep in cricket
Yeah,
as well.
oh my God, he goes so deep in Reddit. But I haven't touched Reddit. I'm too scared to go down that rabbit hole.
Never, yeah.
But he is so far down the cricket Reddit rabbit hole that I'm pretty sure he's had death threats from India, because he's so far in there winding them up, and then he just forwards them to me. And I'm sitting there going, what do you do? How did you even find this?
I got enough death threats as it is.
How did you even find this content? And he's just like, I'm deep, man. I was like, get out now.
He is deep. Like, no one goes deeper on Twitter as well around the NRL than Di Henwood does. Speaking of, he'll be back for the next commentary, and we'll be back Wednesday with another Mad...